Good evening. Solving crimes in the Black Hills is as much about chemistry as it is about detective work. Tonight we take a look at one of the men behind the microscope who uses his lab work to help cut down on crime in West River.
Technology is so cool. I have too much fun.
You've seen his double on TV, the laboratory hero who steps in to help crack cases on C.S.I. Richard Wold landed a job as a C.S.I. thanks to his chemical engineering degree from the School of Mines.
I have a lot of fun in the lab. I look forward to going to work every day.
It's not the humans that get the third degree in his lab.
Marijuana is unique in the plant world.
Plant life, pot, meth, and controlled substances are the usual suspects.
Majority of my work is drugs. I also back up the blood alcohol analysis.
Wold gets drug analysis requests each morning. His material will eventually be used in court.
People who are caught up in the legal system, we call them customers. We don't call them perps.
First, he breaks out one of the simplest testing tools, a microscope. In this case, tiny hairs and resin reveal this is indeed a marijuana plant. Another test will reconfirm.
We go for the simple and irrefutable.
To test to see if the plant sample has THC and is marijuana, first you take 5 drops of Ducanoid solution. And you add it to the sample. Then you take 5 drops of hydrochloric acid and add it to the sample. And if it turns blue, there is THC present. It's one of the simplest and most effective tests.
For this, the conclusion is marijuana. And that's how hard that is.
You may be familiar with some of the lab's more advanced equipment from prime time.
We have a gas chromatograph mass spectrometer, and I've seen that on 1 or 2 shows. They also do some spectrometry. We use infrared spectrometry as well as ultraviolet for identification of street drugs.
The infrared spectrometer shoots light through this disc that's clear under infrared light. Since different chemicals absorb light in different ways, the way the light reacts to it tells the story.
You get a pattern. In fact, you get a fingerprint of a chemical. Begin, and we're done. We just went through 5,000 comparisons, just that fast. Now the number 1 hit is methamphetamine hydrochloride with MSM.
Blood alcohol testing is also a big part of the job. Here, an auto sampler tests samples from DUI arrests.
Blood doesn't lie.
A vapor head sample from each vial is taken from this machine, and a gas chromatograph determines alcohol content.
This blood alcohol is a 174.
This lab rat also gets out on scene when things get busy.
I've been on scene twice, and they were both 20 below zero, and 2 dead body runs, and everybody else was busy, so they picked me. That was February last year, the frozen body under the bridge at 6th Street. Call came in at 1, and it took us, the sun went down at 4:30, and we were still picking up pieces. It took him 6 days to thaw in the hospital for an autopsy. That's how frozen hard the victim was. So it's not at all like C.S.I. with Hawaii and the flowers and the birds. This is snow and stiff dead bodies, and what a mess.
There are some things about Hollywood that Richard does dream of.
I wish I could work on C.S.I. They have better equipment.
That's when the equipment is real. Some of the stuff is all for show.
They have pretty instruments in the background and then claim it's whatever analysis, and of course anybody who's in the industry just laughs.
Also, one autopsy scene from Crime Scene TV is a hoot among real CSIs.
They had a scene at an autopsy, and they poured some type of dental stone goo or something into a stab wound in this person's chest, and they pulled out this perfectly formed, what looked like a knife. And they said, "This is the knife we're looking for," or whatever they said. I turned it off, because that's impossible. It can't happen.
Wold says there is some good from the TV glamour.
CSI has driven technology budgets for forensic labs. Because the public expects it, then funding follows.
As for the detectives that work with Wold and other forensic examiners, they appreciate the hard work.
And it's the evidence, the forensic evidence, that gives us the answers for the victim, who can't give us that anymore.
So rest assured, the real CSIs are helping to crack cases in the Black Hills. And as a team, these forensic examiners have the right chemistry to solve the toughest cases. Jennifer Dowling, Fox 7 News, Rapid City.
All DNA analysis for the crime scene investigations are sent to Peer. Wold says it would take $1 million in 5 years to set up a DNA lab in Rapid City, and the demand isn't there now. Meanwhile, the $52,000 new gas chromatograph mass spectrometer was purchased with state-seized money from drugs, so they recycled that drug money into doing drug analysis. Back to you.